Consistency. Consistency is reliability or uniformity. Consistency is the steadfast adherence to the same course. Well, I really just had consistency in my family. Every day was pretty much the same every week. We had the same schedule and we were all just together and happy. It was just a normal childhood. Growing up, both my parents were busy workers. My mom worked from home, so she had her little office, and we'd always go and sit on her office chair and just have fun. We always got in trouble for being too loud when she was on conference calls. And then my dad traveled a lot, so he was gone from the house quite a bit. But eventually he quit that job so he could be home more. I remember it was a couple years after we moved to Wisconsin, and it was our spring break. We went down to visit my grandma in Florida. And then halfway through spring break, my dad flew down and we went and met him in Orlando. We all stayed in a hotel together and went to Disney. But it was kind of a weird trip. My mom and my dad were in separate rooms. We thought it was just to spread out the adults. But they didn't spend a lot of time together on the trip, which was not normal. Everything in my life was pretty consistent until one day it stopped. I remember I was in 5th grade, and they sat us down in the living room, and my mom goes, "So we've been noticing something." And I thought right off the bat that we were in trouble for something. They started talking about how they did not get along anymore and they were just growing apart and how they were getting a divorce. I was very confused. It was kind of it didn't feel real. I feel like everybody kind of has that when something new happens. But I just couldn't wrap my mind around it that my parents weren't going to be married anymore. Both my parents, through the divorce, tried to stay very strong for us. And they did. Neither of them, talked badly about the other person, which I liked. They kept it very normal. They just weren't together anymore. After the divorce, with everything being so different, I definitely was looking for something to be more of a constant. I just needed something for myself. It wasn't anything to do with my family that could just always be there. And that's when I found dance. Dance has become one of the most constant things in my life. I can just go and let my emotions roam, and I can express them. When I'm having a bad day, and I don't want to go to practice, I don't want to do anything, I just want to be in my bed and do nothing. My mom pushes me to go to practice, and I go, and I'm very grateful for it. I can just go, and there's a very loving community there, and I get to just dance. I get to just dance and just kind of express my emotions in a way that I can't in any other format. When I'm sad, I can just dance to a sad song. I look very emotional and I say I'm just getting into it, but I feel better. I just feel beautiful and free.
Closer than your shadow. Oh, I'm jealous of the wind.
So I've been dancing for about 6 years now, since 6th grade. I do all kinds of dance. I do lyrical, jazz, ballet, hip-hop, tap, musical theater. I do about 12 to 13 dances per season. As of this year, I've done 3 solos in my career.
It's very nerve-wracking being the only one on stage that everybody is watching. And the only one that you can rely on to remember the choreography. Because I've definitely had brain farts on stage, but usually there's other people on stage doing the same thing, so you can just look over and be like, oh yeah, that's what I'm supposed to be doing. But with solo, it's all on you, but it's so much more personal It's just you expressing your emotions and what you want to say. It's all about you. When I was in 8th grade, my mom got remarried to a man named Glenn. And that was a whole new crazy adventure. Just saying that I had step-siblings and a stepfather was just so crazy. Glenn became a second dad to me, basically. It really made me a lot more grateful that my parents got divorced in the first place, because if they hadn't, I would never have really known any of those people, let alone have them as part of my family. So this past summer, I was going through a little bit of a rough patch, and it was just a combination of a lot of things, a lot of stresses, college coming up, friends drifting apart, family stresses and drama, and I just was struggling to deal with it all. There was a break from dance because we just got done with our big nationals competition, so we had like a month break of just nothing before classes started again. And so I kind of lost that constant for a little bit. My family was there and they were all very supportive and they always tried to make me feel better, but I just felt alone. I didn't know what to do. And then one day my grandma came and gave me this little butterfly figure that said "one day at a time." And she was just trying to make sure I was okay and let me know that she was there for me. And it just made me feel a lot better.